Welcome, Dr. Jason Dean, BraveTV, your source for health, freedom, and knowledge. Welcome to Monday, January 13th, 2025. Tonight is the full moon. If you haven't noticed or kept an eye out, it's the energy's off the charts. It's getting special, that's for sure. Welcome to another week. In 7 days, Donald Trump will be inaugurated the 47th president as long as everything goes according to, I guess, plan. You know what changed the world? Q did not even change the world. What changed the world was, guess what? Donald Trump, for a year straight plus, every rally he did, every talk he did said, are you tired of paying too much money? Are you tired of inflation? Are you tired? Donald Trump literally came on and said, he said the dude's a multi-billionaire. And he said, I eat a lot of bacon and I'm tired of paying more for bacon. Donald Trump's statement on paying too much money for his own bacon impacted more people than any conspiracy theory has done in the last multiple decades. You just can't stay away, can you? I'm right, aren't I?
You are 100% right, and I'll give people a good example.
She couldn't stay away. She was not scheduled to be on today.
I'm trying to not be on because I had a spiritual breakdown last week.
It was fantastic, though. It was such a good one. Such growth came out of that.
Yeah, I know. However, and like, I'm doing the work. I'm friggin' journaling and stuff, but this is what people are failing to understand. While I understand your need and want to prove out a do because, oh, well, it's important that they know that our government's capable, or so that way we could stop it again. Let me give you an instance of literally nobody would have changed my mind on vaccinating my kid when I did.
It took an incredibly unfortunate and bad situation to change you.
Yeah, but you could have given me every evidence. You could have spelled out the fetal cells. You could have spelled out the aluminum, the mercury, all of those things. But until I was shown the bad that ensued from a vaccine, nothing was changing my mind. And I believe that's the same for somebody of California who
I've changed my entire viewpoint on this whole thing.
Yeah.
I've actually mostly dropped any conspiracies, not because I think they're fun.
Mm-hmm.
They do almost no. I mean, the only conspiracy people really care about at this point right now is like the 9/11s, maybe like some JFK, some alien stuff. The rest of them, like, no one gives a shit. COVID, no one gives a shit except for the 0.1%, Nicolette.
Yeah, and so another example, something that happened over the last week, you guys were all asking us about the fog, and I was like, I don't give a fuck, it's fog.
You mean the thing that's already out of the news and no one cares about anymore?
Yeah, and somebody tagged me in something yesterday, and it's you remember Aaron from Health News or whatever the heck.
Oh yeah. Did she tag you?
No. It was her conversation.
Oh, okay.
So they took fog samples from Florida.
Was there anything in
and they found bacteria in it, and she also called the bacteria parasite, which isn't technically correct, but besides the point.
That doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, the bacteria that they found is something that grows in humid, warm, whatever climates. So, one, I'm not sure how you take a sample of the fog. Do you just capture air in a jar or what? And then supposedly had it tested. But two, that would be like me testing somebody's mask and finding strep.
But testing the air outside that's not a valid.
Right. bacteria is present everywhere. Like
You
I
can
said,
go
that
over.
would be
You
like,
can go over to the tree, the citrus tree that's having problems and has a fungal thing all over it, and capture air there, and it might show you fungus. So that's not going to say everyone's sick.
right. So, like I said, I could test everybody's masks that they were wearing, and of course, I'm going to find strep because strep is present in everybody. Strep is present
Correct.
everywhere. Um, so that's not proving anything. That's not proving a conspiracy that somebody unleashed a bacteria into the air. Um, when you have fog, you have condensation. That's exactly what it is. um, so I don't abide to these type of talks anymore because
Here's
it's
the other
not
thing.
worth it.
Here's the other thing. When someone says, "I'm tired of the collateral damage," Nicolette probably is the most tired of all. Nicolette literally on a daily basis struggles with the
Yeah.
collateral damage, everybody, from what's happening. I mean, literally, there's people in California. There are 11 people, I think, dead so far. There's probably tons of animals who perished in
Yeah.
this whole thing that you're not even hearing about. Here's the problem, and I hate saying this because it doesn't affect me as much as it's affecting her and others, because I kind of just have a different viewpoint on how this works. You, America, I hate saying this. You, America, every single one of you watching this, every single one of you are going to watch this, and any single person out there who doesn't even watch this, the 320 plus million Americans out there, you will never learn until it hurts.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's that simple.
I
Like,
I 100% agree. And unfortunately, I mean, Cash Patel said, unfortunately, it had to be this way. Q said, we have to show them. We could go down the long list, but it's true. You're going to yell at me because this is one of my favorite lines of my book is that our purpose is found in our scars. And I haven't published that book, so stop. Don't yell at me. But anyway,
that's another book you
it's
started
true.
writing?
What? No, that's the first one.
Oh.
But that it's true. Our purposes are found in our scars. I don't know anybody that would be their selves today if they didn't make the mistakes and learn from them along the way, which is why I always say I don't regret anything. But when it comes to something like California and the people that vote for this, I have a very hard time when it comes to death from ignorance. Because I don't believe that anybody. I said this earlier. I don't believe that anybody's inherently evil, and when you're not given the information, and the information is suppressed, then you make ignorant choices. So that's why I don't fault anybody. I don't fault a fucking Kardashian for voting for DEI policies because at the root of everything, um, it's a spectrum of what they believe is good. I understand that there's Marxists and stuff out there, but why does anybody want to go socialist? Why does anybody want to go communist? Why does anybody want to go Marxist? At some root, they think that it's for the betterment of people. Nobody
That's what
wants,
they think.
yeah, nobody wants to like destroy. I don't think that they set out to destroy, but like I made the argument in the mod group this morning. I don't think Bill Gates went to all these countries to vaccinate for the pure reason of one,
I
he believes that.
I think he actually did. I think he went to destroy.
Well, but the thing is that he believes that a depopulation agenda will save humanity.
That is correct. He does believe that.
You're right. So even if he's vaccinating to try to kill off population, at the end of the day, it's because he's trying to help. It's a weird way of looking at it.
He's trying to save his own ass for 2040 is what he's really doing.
Yeah, but it's stemmed from misinformation. And I say that lightly because misinformation is such a trigger word now. But every person that believes in climate change and every person that believes in, freaking Greta Thunberg and all these people, they honestly think that the world is ending.
Well, Maybe, maybe not.
Yeah, but I don't know. I don't think that people. I don't know. People can be mad at me all they want for saying stuff like that, but I don't. I to me, and this goes back to the Bible. I've gone back to the Bible quite frequently in the last week. God didn't create evil. He didn't.
Ooh, that's a good.
So
That's an interesting one. He didn't create evil.
yeah,
Care to explain
God didn't.
yourself on that?
Well, he didn't create evil. Well, you can say he created light and darkness, but the absence of light isn't evil. But God didn't create evil. I don't think that. I think that
There is
um
no technical evil because evil is a
right.
scale, right?
Hmm.
There is only God and good creation, and then there is this gradient of falling away from God, which is
Yeah,
not evil,
it,
just
it's
gets more dark.
it's the lack of good. If you
Yes.
ask me, that's what I
I
think that is.
really want people to understand. I think that, and they can take it or lose it, or whatever, either way. I don't really think there is an evil, like, because evil to you, Nicolette, is different than evil to me, is different than evil to the lady
Right.
down the street. Like, what does that
Yeah.
mean,
And
evil?
well, he did create. d- Somebody just asked, didn't he create an angel that we now know as Satan? Yeah, but his intention wasn't to make an evil angel. That
Angel
wasn't
made a
his
mistake.
intention.
Angel chose something else.
Yeah. And why did he choose that thing? And I think that it's because of one, the ignorance of not knowing the truth, and two, um, the society around us plays a part on that.
Hmm.
And this is exactly you say in the beginning of the show, and like our you need the knowledge, and that all of that has been suppressed.
That's Gnostic Christianity, which people are like, oh my God, Gnostic Christianity is evil. It's just
Yeah.
gaining knowledge. It's gaining information to make better choices.
Yeah. So when it comes to us all seeking knowledge, but the problem is that we don't have a basis. The Bible and the ancient tablets and stuff are the closest that we're going to get to a basis of knowledge. But even that is discussed wrong. Like people can't agree on anything. It's
It's so
in the
true.
beholder. So we don't have a clear basis of what it is, what truth is. I used to get so mad, and I got mad kind of yesterday because you kind of did the same thing. John Rich posted something about Jesus and like having faith in him, and like it's the ultimate thing. Like he's indestructible, and therefore you're indestructible. Um, I remember my Western philosophy teacher. He was a Greek Orthodox priest, and I remember one um, thing that we were talking about, and it might have been Descartes or something, but he said, Jesus is light, Jesus is truth. And I was like, not a suffice answer for me. But it really
Come
is.
on, I tried to throw John Rich at you. I knew. I was gonna get some.
I know. All I put was I appreciate the effort,
I know.
but
I knew you did. I
that
did it
is
on
the
purpose. So
well, because to me that wasn't a suffice answer for the longest time, and part of me it still isn't, because you're like, what does that mean? But when you look at it and you think about the consciousness, what is consciousness? Knowledge, right?
uh, that's a whole discussion right there.
Right. But
I
Jesus
wouldn't
is
say just knowledge. I would say it's.
yeah, not just knowledge, but the ultimate way to consciousness is knowledge. Um,
Yes, you have to wake up to what you are and who you are. That's where consciousness rises. Correct.
but that's something that can't ever be destroyed, and that's the only thing I'm finding solace in with all of this shit happening. Seeing some of our viewers' homes burned down, seeing a mom that had to leave her blind, cerebral palsy, disabled son behind, only to come back to her house being in rubble. All those stories are absolute heartbreaking, but I know that their soul wasn't destroyed. That's the
Correct.
only thing that we can find solace in. Because that's
Oh
the only
yeah,
thing that's
100%.
infinite, and that's the only thing that's indestructible. So when John Rich is saying something about, oh, Jesus is in all of us, your consciousness is in all of you.
So there's the great discussion, right? So this is where the Christianese go very awry from where we are, right? So that's one of the reasons I sent that to you, is because John Rich said Jesus Christ is in all of us. I agree, but I don't agree with the viewpoint of which he's looking at it. I agree from the viewpoint that Christ consciousness is in all of us, and Christ is in us to help us make that decision, and that is our connection to our Creator. He physically believes that Jesus Christ is coming back to lead us in a certain direction. I believe the Christ coming back is consciousness rising, which is Christ essentially consciousness re-emerging, which is happening right now and will come to a head. So that's why when people ask me, like, are you a Christian? I'm like, yeah, I am, because I look at it the same way. We just have different viewpoints of what, like, I don't believe we need a physical person to come back and save us, because the physical form doesn't need this reality. This reality is not like Jesus Christ does not need a physical body to come that doesn't make any sense whatsoever. However, as we all realize who and what is in us and how we're connected to our source creator, can't stop the awakening.
Yes.
But 99% of Christians will fight you to the death over that conversation. Did you know that?
Yeah, I'm well aware of
because
that.
they physically have been told and believe that a physical man is coming out of the sky or from somewhere and is going to lead us into a promised land, and I believe that's all internal. And that really comes from my faith growing up. I was taught that comes from my chiropractic background, that comes from my spirituality, it comes from a lot of places. Because you can feel yourself rising as you understand more and more. You can feel yourself ascending out of this reality. Because, like, Nicola, I don't know about you, it ain't easy for me walking around this place out there. Like,
and that's what's making it so hard for me right now going through this, is because the only thing that I kept asking myself, and the inspiration for the new book that I've hammered out for the most part, is there has to be better. I don't think that this is what God intended. But you know what? God didn't intend this. And I'm going to get real fucking spiritual here for a second. God didn't intend this. God intended for you to have consciousness, for you to have the truth. And that's his teachings. That's literally the teachings.
you know,
Whether
what happens?
any religion that you look at, that's the teachings towards consciousness. And when we took that away, and I'm not talking about taking the word God out of the Pledge of Allegiance or taking it out of our school, when we took it away from our moral compass in general, when we took that away, we went further away from it. And therefore, now we have the karmic issue of we're not following the word of God, and nobody follows the word of God. And I'm going to be completely honest. This is one of my biggest.
You know what happens when we don't follow?
This is my biggest grievance, is the hypocrisy of those. And this was part of our conversation this morning. I can't, in good conscience, God gave me the 10 commandments. One of those 10 commandments is thou shalt not kill. 10 commandments are holy grail of any rules. And therefore, that's why when we talk about Fauci and all of them, I said, it's not my job.
Nicolette has gone away from the public hangings, and I have not.
That God can decide on that. I think that they'll get.
I don't
their
want to pay for
karmic.
Fauci. I don't want to pay for Fauci to eat every day. I really don't. I don't want to pay.
And
I
you
don't want to
probably
pay.
don't
I don't
have
even.
to.
I don't even want to pay for the gas to send him to the island.
You probably don't have to, but I
Can
believe
I? Can I
God
pay?
will
I just
right
want to
the
pay.
wrong.
I want to pay for the rope, and
Yeah, but we have a discernment problem. That is the biggest problem because we cannot discern for our consciousness. And as far as the yin and yang, somebody asked if I can believe in good Christ consciousness, why can't I believe in the duality? Once again, I think it's the lack of. When you don't have all the information, then you can't be that person. Even the yin and yang, it's the lack of. How do you make black and white? Why is everything on a spectrum? It's black and white. What is white? What is black? One is literally all of the colors put together, concentrated, and the other one is the absent of colors.
yeah, agreed. Before I go today, Nicolette, you're gonna be so excited.
I'm here for it. What's up?
Health Freedom University is 95% done, and it looks freaking rad. Like,
I haven't even seen it, guys.
Yeah.
I know what it is.
it's
but I
pretty
haven't seen
rad. It's like if this is the starting point, oh my gosh, it's like life shifting rad, like really cool stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Your video is so behind right now.
Yeah, I don't know. You kept freezing too. It's weird.
Could be internet, which is always fun. It could be Rumble too. Rumble's getting always weird. Any last thoughts?
High winds last night, so
any final thoughts?
I don't know. No, back to what you said last week. Just try to do good. One of the biggest things that I see with times like these, is a lot of gloating and, oh, well, you get what you voted for. Well, true. That's not any way to make the difference. I don't see how that helps anyone. There's still innocent people that didn't vote that way that are suffering for these things. It's nobody. I said this earlier too, and this goes back to the scriptures. There's not a single one of us that isn't a sinner. And while you might see your sins as not so bad, if you
is
still
anybody out there
sin,
thinking that they don't make mistakes? Is there anybody out there
Right.
who doesn't like sin or make mistakes?
right? So I'm not one. I'm not going to sit here and cast the first stone on anybody, and I don't think that that's our place. I think our place is to, yeah, you can spread information, but it doesn't have to be degrading to the other person's side. Like, I see that so often, even with you talking about like the dues and stuff, and a bunch of people kind of jumping on you and being like, but and going after you. That's not that doesn't help anyone. I don't know. I just want people to be better. Like I said, I want this world to be better.
I'm gonna end with this, which is, we've had the last year, people have gotten all pissy over I'm not voting. I talked about potentially not. I ended up voting because I thought it was the right thing to do. And they're like, I'm not doing this. I'm not voting. It's not worth anything. It's stupid. It's just a whatever major. Yeah, we're in a system, of course, right? But California really, well, not just California, Florida and California. Florida right now, we are eliminating, which I'll talk about tomorrow. Florida, we're eliminating fluoride from like every single, it seems like, county water system right now. Like Justin, who's coming on this Thursday, is like heading out, and he literally shows up sometimes with only 2 other people to talk about how bad fluoride is, and they end up removing it from the city, removing it from the county, whatever it may be. And then this California thing, that Rick Caruso was the one who went against Bass in the election. And he previously worked in the water world. He's wealthy. He knows exactly what to do.
Yeah.
And you know what? I really want, and this is, don't mind me today. I'm a little bit full moon pissy. F off to the people out there who are telling all of you that a vote doesn't matter and doesn't count. I'm not saying it perfectly counts in federal elections all the time. There is a potential possibility that California, I know there's rigging going on, tons of it. If California actually showed up better than they do, California may not have had this problem because the right person could have been in to actually overturn this issue.
Yeah, despite the dues,
right.
Despite direct energy weapons, despite whatever, there could have been a difference made.
100%. We almost went blue, Nicolette, in Florida like 8 years ago, and guess what happened? The Florida residents turned that over, which allowed DeSantis in, which put Latipo in Surgeon General, who has started flipping things. And now we have people in city commission roles who are helping reverse the fluoride issue. So don't ever tell me, anybody, that votes don't count again. Like, they do, and they absolutely are required.
You can go back to General Flynn on this very network, showing you or telling you, get involved locally.
He did. So when everyone slammed Flynn was going local votes, local votes, local votes.
Well, even I questioned it because I was like, what does it matter? But you know what? Michigan Republicans, and I don't love all Republicans, so I say this with lightheartedly. Michigan Republicans now have a majority in the House here in Michigan. Do you think they're going to be able to pass any laws when we forced Republicans into those seats? It takes 2. Like, you can't just pass a law unless she signs an executive order, but we've already taken her to court over those things, the governor. So these things definitely make a difference, but in order to do that, people have to be more involved. And it's not even just about, I don't care if you cast a vote or not. I will be completely honest. Your local community doesn't even need a ballot passed for you to make a difference in what's happening in your community. You have people that are homeless and stuff on the streets in your community eating garbage and pooping everywhere. You fucking do something about it. You don't wait for an elected official to do something about it.
Mm-hmm. And you think 2020 gets exposed with Gavin being governor still? That'd be fun. It'd be fun. He gets busted in this whole thing.
I don't know, because for me, I thought that this crash and stuff was going to happen in order for him to announce the BRICS deal, but I honestly think he's just going to announce it. I think there was enough of a crash, but because of us being awake, we didn't really see it as much. That doesn't mean there's not going to be some turbulence as far as like housing and all this other stuff, but I don't see that bottom point anymore. I don't know how it plays out, but I do know that Trump has BRICS representatives showing up to his inauguration, and he has a rally the day before. There's something to be said about all these places, whether it's land grabs or whatever. These places had a lot of debt. All of these places, they had a lot of debt. Essentially that the country would claim bankruptcy in a way, and this might just very much be it.
That's how we do it. Everybody, thanks Nicolette for jumping on. She wasn't planning on it. Health Freedom University is literally right around the corner. I was delivered this morning. I just had to do some work on it this week. Full Moon Protocol right now. Get on it. Be on it. Do your thing. Metabolic Reset shipping probably today. So we'll probably start next week. Don't worry if you have signed up for it. You will be in the email system. Do not unsubscribe to the emails. You know what's coming. There's going to be more information coming for those. So hang in there. And it's been a fun Friday. Fun Monday. 7 days away, everybody. Love, serve, and help for Nicolette. Thanks, Nicolette.
Bye, everyone.
Dr. Dean. Have a good Monday, everybody. Bye-bye.
Health, freedom, knowledge. This is Brave.